Okay, I think I am live. Gonna have to switch microphones. Just give me a second. All right, let me get my microphone ready to go here. Yep, I'm alive. All right. There, I got it on there. Hopefully that is working. It looks like it is. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for some people to come on. Go ahead and get my root beer going for today. Picked up a case of this at Menards, Spreacher twist caps. It's a little bit less than $1 a bottle, and these are the bigger bottles. How about that? I'll put it just like that. Yeah, looks like the internet is working good. Nate, hey Nate, hey Leezer. Yeah, I didn't put no notifications that I didn't put it in my video anyways, but I always have it on Tuesday night. And it's just Nate, it's just a lot going on. So and we're in the short feed, so it'd be hard to get you in the camera. So we'll work something out. Yeah, it was really, really busy today. I just got a chance to sit down right now. I've been just trying to make a couple notes of everything that I did today. So first thing was for today was the 2011 Toyota Sienna for the front struts. And then when the guy dropped it off, he's like, oh, it needs an oil change too. So I got that taken care of. But when I was working on that, a 2020 Ford Transit came in. They're having some kind of orchestra over at the school, like a band and orchestra. They're from Wisconsin and New York. But the van I worked on today was from Wisconsin. And the trailer light plug didn't work on the van. So it didn't come with one factory, so it was an add-on. And it was just a power wire coming down to the conversion box. So I was able to get that fixed, and they were really happy. Okay. But yeah, I did that. So I got that done I was able to fix that really easily. I did put it up on the hoist, and they were so happy, and they paid with a card. Then I did the 2015 Kia, the rear wheel bearings, and then the brakes were bad, and he needed an oil change too that he just told me about today. Hey Rob, how's it going? So yeah, Michelle got all those chips sent out today. So then after the Kia, I worked on a 2020 Ford Fusion, which a guy put a 2018 engine in there, a 2.5 liter. We're having trouble with the oxygen sensor. So I don't know if something with the wiring just ain't compatible or whatnot, but I ain't quite got a handle on it. It's reading kind of backwards than what it's supposed to be for the code. It sets a code P0137, and that code says it should be low, but it's actually running high. And as soon as the oxygen sensor kicks in and starts working, it throws the code. It's just really weird. So then after that, or before that, I had a 2018 Traverse come in, and the guy's like, well, it's jerking when I turn the corners. So we go out and drive it, and I'm like, no, that's your transmission. So his transmission's acting up. We took a fluid sample, and here, I'll go get it. It's pretty dark. So 62,000 miles. 62,000 miles. That's the transmission fluid out of the Traverse. And the transmission shot already. So then after that, his son had a Jeep towed in. And it's one I've worked on before. And it's got the 3.6 Pentastar in it. And he said it just died on him. But I went out there just before the live stream and turned it over. It's not the timing chain or nothing. And it did try to start. So the fuel pump is out. Or the fuse or the wiring or the relay. And I tried banging on the tank, and it tries to start just for a second, but that's it. Yeah, Michelle helped me on that one. And then Michelle's got news for you, too, because she went to her hearing doctor today, and she got almost everything taken care of on her device. And it's better, way better. Now they recalibrated it. And the only thing that disappoints me is they're supposed to have a Bluetooth thing for her so she could listen to the TV. And they completely messed that up and forgot about it or something. Yeah, maybe Nate Wrench Sense. So Wrench Sense is Nate. So maybe on Thursday, because that's when we go to the wide format. It'll be a lot easier because right now I can just barely fit myself. I got such a big head. I can just barely fit myself into this stream. It pewters for a couple seconds. Yeah. So it's just it's the fuel pump. But why the fuel pump's not running, I haven't figured that out yet. Hopefully I'll have time. I just doubt it. We are booked out. We got people coming in every day trying to get an appointment ahead of other people, but that just doesn't work like that here. Yeah, so it's much better. She said it's much better. They recalibrated it, turned the volume down. The app developer is one of those guys that lives in the basement, and he doesn't understand because he's got the volume set to go to high as soon as you turn the app on. So I don't know. I told Michelle to get a hold of somebody and then have them call me because it's called a shared preferences where your last volume setting was. He doesn't know how to use the shared preferences. That's what you call it in the Java Android that you program that with. He's probably using MIT app develop. That's probably what he's doing. So yeah, she actually feels better now when she had it on today. Wrench Sense says, I can take a side job once in a while if you get overbooked. Okay, well that's good to know. Like, what do you like to do? I mean, I get a variety of everything. Probably something older, right? Something in our generation. I must not be seeing all the comments. Let me. Yeah, so Rob, how was your trip to Florida? How was your 4th of July? How was everybody's 4th of July? Ours was pretty good. We went to our town's festival, and then I put it up on Pete Michelle Daisy channel. Michelle made me record the fireworks, which wasn't. We had a new guy do our fireworks, and last year we didn't even have them because the old guy got bad health and he retired. But the new guy is not as good as the old guy. Put it that way. I don't know what Michelle is talking about. Talking about my generation. Yeah. I must have missed something up here. So yeah, just super. I did quite a few cars today. I got it. So the Kia turned out on that brake caliper on the passenger side in the rear. It didn't go in all the way, so it's too late in the day for me to after I did get it back together, but it's sticking. It wasn't sticking before I worked on it, but trying to push it in, there's something, it wouldn't let me push it in all the way. And now it's sticking, so I got to get a new one. So I was hoping to have that done today, but I gotta slap a brake caliper on there tomorrow. So Leisure says it was rainy there. Must be for the 4th of July. Yeah, Rochester's fireworks went for, what was it, 2 minutes, and they got rained out. After we got back from the fireworks, we got almost 2 inches of rain. But we did not have no rain during the fireworks. Rob says he stayed home and didn't want to be around people after getting back from Disney. I completely understand that. When I got back from Indianapolis 500 last year, I just wanted a break. There was 400,000 people there. That's too many people for me. The Who, My Generation. Yeah, that's a song. The last job I took in was an engine swap for Brian in 2014 Durango. So you like the bigger jobs where you could just have it in your garage for a week and a half or 2 weeks and take your time. Nice and quiet here. Daisy went with us to watch the fireworks. There's so many kids. It was crazy how many kids. And we were parked out on a gravel road, both sides of the road. And the kids would just run right out even when the cars were coming. Just trying to get things organized here. So what else? I finally got the third GMC, the 2007 GMC Sierra Classic with the Duramax with the brakes. I got the brakes all done. So it turned out I had to do calipers on all 4 wheels, brake pads on all 4 wheels, a master cylinder, and an ABS automated bleed. There was something else I did on that too. But he just picked it up today. I told him, I said, be careful when you hit the brakes. It's not like it was before. It might put you through the windshield. And the look on his face was like, awesome. Also rebuild rear drive transmissions. Like, would you do one for a newer truck? Like, let me, a 6R90. Is that the one I'm looking for? 6L90. Would you do one for like a 6L90? I didn't get very many pictures. The K-Tool, the K-Tool people are still trying to figure out which cable I need, and I told them a couple times. Jaden Porter, 238. I'm having trouble with my SUV. Can you help me? Sure. What's your problem? That's what I'm here for. GM 6-liter, no problem. Oh yeah, wrench sense for the transmission. I got one we might send over your way then. We're waiting to see what they want to do as far as warranty on it. You got a GM product, brakes to actually stop. Yeah, that thing for a 3500 and a big truck, I went out there and I'm like, the brake pedal's nice and firm. I went out there and man, she could stop on a dime if you wanted it to. Yeah, 6L90. Yeah, it's a 2000. Oh gosh. Is it a 2021? 6L90? I think it just needs a torque converter. It's hitting midline on temp for maybe a 20-mile drive. It's hitting midline on temp. I think that temperature gauge should be in the middle. Should only take you about, it usually takes me about 5 miles to get her warmed up. It's hitting midline on temp. Maybe I'm just not understanding. So is it overheating on a 20-mile drive? What size engine is it? What kind of vehicle is it? Let's see, what else did we do today? Oh, how about that yesterday on the 2024 Ram? 1500, the wiring is shot already. Volvo XC90 2011. Less the V6. Volvo. Yeah, so I'm not sure what you're trying to get at here. It's hitting midline on the temp. Maybe a 20-mile drive. Well, you mean middle of the temperature gauge? Ain't that where it's supposed to be, or is that just a little extra hot? If that's a little extra hot, it could be your electric fan, could be your thermostat, could be low on coolant. Less than 20 miles. So it's getting too hot. You're feeling it's getting too hot. Yeah, if it's getting too hot too fast, that could be a thermostat. It could be the fan's not turning on. Could be something plugging the radiator. Could be a head gasket blown out if it's getting pressure in the cooling system. Could be a dirty radiator. Yeah, what's the ambient temperature? What's the temperature outside when it happens? I'm afraid I'll blow ahead just getting stuck in traffic. So if it continues to warm up when you're not moving, I mean, you either got a head gasket going out or your fan is not working. 2011, so that's probably got a electric fan on it. Can you hear the electric fan? Can you hear the electric fans go? What if you turn on the air conditioning? Does the electric fan turn on? Yeah, you got the right live stream, because all these guys know about cars. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The fan. I don't know. Maybe it's got the old style fan where they got the fan clutch. Yep, turn on the AC and see if the fan turns on. Thermostat stuck, yep. AC don't work. Yeah, so if the AC don't work, it might not get high enough pressure for the switch to tell the ECM to turn the fan on. It could be one of those. Could be Leisure says bad fan relay. 21 Volvo XC90. I'm gonna look something up on that. I'm gonna go to Napa that way in case I can pull up Mitchell if I have to. So 2011. Volvo XC90. That's the last on the list. The engine, it could be a 2.5, a 3.2. So it's not a 2.5. It's either a 3.2. I'm going to say it's a 3.2, or it's a 4.4. Let's see if we can pick up on what he says it is. Yeah, I'm going to look up some stuff here on it. A thermostat, hopefully that isn't that hard to do. If you could just tell me what size engine that has. I know you said it was V6. 3.2, okay. Okay, let's look up a thermostat. Yeah, it looks 4 bolts hold it down. Got a sensor on it and a hose. I'm assuming you'd be able to get at that. Let me go to a different source and see where it's located. And while I'm doing this, I cannot see what's going on. So let me pull up some specifications here. Let's look at engine. That's what I want. I just haven't. Engine cooling fan. So it's got electric fans. I'm just having a little bit of trouble making out what this deal is sitting on the thermostat. That looks like maybe it's a pump. Where's the water pump? 5. So the thermostat's on the bottom of the water pump, it looks like. And the water pump appears to be, looks like it's electric. Let me show you what I'm looking at. I'm going to put the internet up for you. So the radiator fan is running. Could possibly be a bad fan temperature switch. Okay, the fan is running. Changes things. Let me put up the internet here. It's going to be kind of small for you guys, but we'll live with it. So here's 5 is the water pump. Now that does not look like it's attached to the engine, so the water pump looks like it's electric. Actually, there's the electric plug right there. So then if we go to find the thermostat, the thermostat's going to be right underneath number 5. Component right here. So let's thermostat. Number 3, oh, that's the sensor. But the sensor goes right into the thermostat. The thermostat had 4 bolts on it. So when we go back to Napa, there's the thermostat. So the water pump slips right over here on top of that. The thermostat's in the bottom. But if you're getting your fan to come on, let me go back and look. Yeah, it's hard to call. Fan is running, changes things. I understand, greatly appreciate the help. Yeah, it looks to me like it's electric water pump. But it kind of sounds like, if the radiator fan, if it turns on and it cools down, it's something to do with that. Yeah, I still don't know. It seems like I'm missing comments, but I don't know. Michelle must be getting more comments than I am because she's commented on stuff that I don't see. Let's go look at a wiring diagram and see if that is electric. Electric water pump. Well, we got cooling fans. No, oh, here comes some documents. Oh boy. Let's try something else. There's just a ton of stuff on this car. There's fuse panels everywhere. Gosh, how many fuses and relays do you need? Cooling fan is on number 11. So is the accelerator pedal sensor. Electromagnetic clutch, and that must be the air conditioning. Cooling fan, air conditioning, and accelerator pedal are all under fuse 11. Not, oh, coolant pump, fuse 4. Or is this a relay? I think they're fuses. But number 4 has the fuel pump, auxiliary oh, it's auxiliary heater coolant pump. Auxiliary heater. So that's probably not it. I'm just trying to find a water pump. Of course, they probably wouldn't have a fuse on that. Just let me go through this here and then I'll get back to the. I'm not seeing any fuses for the water pump. I might have to do a Google search. Let me go back to the stream. Oh, I am on the stream. Yeah, if it was the water pump, you would not be able to drive it very far. Let me do a Google search just to make sure. No, it's a mechanical water pump. Oh, it's doing a security check on me. Okay, that does not look like a fun job. All right, they're going back together with it here now. You got to pull the intake off. To get to the thermostat is underneath the intake also. Let me pull up this picture. I'm going to put the internet back on. So let me put this picture back, or the internet up here. So you take the intake off here. What he's got is ratchet on there. That thing is the water pump. And then to the left of the water pump, that 4-bolt plastic housing, that is your thermostat right there. But you do have to pull off the intake. You know what? That is an electric motor that drives the water pump. Because see the arrow there? There is the plug. That's what I'm getting off of this. I didn't read anything. I suppose I should read it. So there we're looking at the water pump. He's pulling the hose off. To me, that is a electric motor that drives that. But like, let me go back. But like Jadon says, if that electric motor ain't running, your car is gonna overheat almost instantly. Maybe I'm wrong, but the fan is in front of the radiator. Get a factory Volvo thermostat. Yeah, it's underneath the intake there. Leisure. Visor. Is that better? I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a pretty big job to replace that thermostat. I definitely would get a mechanic friend to kind of help you with it. If the fan is coming on, I mean, you could feel the air. If the air that off the, of course, it's going to be cool. So it's probably, if the fan is coming on, I mean, you either got, nah, it looked like electric motor to me. And it's gear driven off the electric motor. Let me go on eBay once, and I'm gonna look some more stuff up. I just ain't worked on this, and I ain't got very good service information here to. Yeah, the one in the internet that I was showing is different than this. This one looks like it goes behind the timing cover or something. Well, I definitely need to do some more research before, so we don't give out some wrong information here, or at least I don't want to give out anything wrong. I'm gonna look at a different post here, because obviously that's not right. Okay, that might not be the right. I was just going off something here where I found it on the internet. Let's look at this one. I found something else. Maybe there's 2 water pumps on it. Yeah, the water pump I look up on Napa and this one is driven off the built. But this thermostat sure looks like the one in the other post here I found. That's behind the intake. Unless I'm going back. So what part of the country do you live in, Jaden? Yeah, it could be a partially plugged radiator. Usually if your hose is hot, like, and the fan is running, the thermostat would be open, but it's not cooling. So I think Nate knows a little about this, and he says it's gear driven off the transmission. A gear on the rear of the crankshaft drives the intermediate gear assembly. Lower Alabama. Yeah, you're too far away for me to come and rescue you or take a look at it. Yep, no, I just don't have enough experience on a Volvo. I don't know. Like, I probably only worked on one Volvo my whole life. It was an older dark green one, or lime green, dark lime green. And I could not tell you what number it was. But I think you want to check the obvious, like, is it full of coolant? Does your fan work? And he said he can drive at 20 miles, so. Reed water pump, rear and auxiliary drive. So Wrench Sense, he knows a little bit about what's going on here. Yeah, it kind of looked like that to me when I was going through the fuses. Yeah, I didn't see no water. There's an auxiliary water pump for the rear heater, it says, or for something, for the heater unit. So that would be another thing. Do you got heat in the cabin? Like, can you turn the heater on and is it hot? Hold on, let me check my math. Yeah, I don't know about that, Michelle. He's probably got a friend that can probably help him. Yeah, you want to be unless you want to pay, you better be careful of if you find a good local shop though, that like me and somebody brought their car here, it wouldn't cost you. Probably I wouldn't even charge you. Of course, if you bring it to the dealer, they charge $160 just to read your codes. Visor says the weather has been hot lately. I could just be running a little warmer. What kind of sounds like if he comes to a stop, he's worried that it's going to overheat. All right, Nate, thanks for helping out with that car. You had some pretty good information on that one tonight. Rob said he's distracted. Yeah, I think Rob sent me he did send me some more pictures of some potatoes. Oh, they look so good. And I'm like, I know what's for dinner tonight. And then he sent me another picture of some kebabs, and Michelle was just ready to get on an airplane and go to Pennsylvania. I'm telling you, she's like, what are we going to have, a sandwich? And I'm like, what's wrong with the sandwich? She's like, I want real food. And then Rob, she's seen the picture of Rob's kebabs, and oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, they look really yummy. And I did not get those pictures up here tonight. I was just running behind. Maybe I could do it for Thursday. Yeah, Michelle was going to get if she had a way to get to Pennsylvania, she would. She wanted some real food, and that looked really good. Yeah, Michelle sent out the poker chips. Even got one to JD, and it was only like $3.50, was it, or $3.75? So not a big deal. Yeah, I'm still waiting on the Katul people for the cable for my hoist. It's still holding in there. They emailed me wondering to know which cable it is, and I keep telling them which one it is. Here it is. It's kind of, I'll make the picture bigger. It hasn't gotten much worse than this. And I go up 3-4 times a day. It was $3.15 to get it to JD in Canada. So that's just like, that's like maybe $1.50 over like sending it in the US, maybe $1.75 more. So it's like just double of what it cost me to send them to you guys. I have 20x that in change. Yeah, hopefully. I don't know how the mail would be up there in Canada. Our mail, since the mailman with the Honda CRV guy, it's pretty good. I have not got the wrong mail. That guy pays attention. And still, he has not been back. Them cars are running. Both CRVs are running. I got a motor mount, engine mount sitting here for one of them. I have not made an appointment yet. We are just busy. I've been doing like 3, 4 cars, 5 cars a day. Yeah. Well, if it's anything like our town, they'll get it. 11 miles. So Jaden, he must be driving. 11 miles and my temp is just under the midline. Like I don't know without having the computer on it, is that too hot? Because it is, if it is like really hot outside, they will warm up faster. My question is, if you come to a stop sign and sit there for 10 minutes, what is it going to stay at the midline or is it going to go higher? And Michelle says, our mailman is really good. I can't say anything about other postal workers. Yeah, I can't either. I only know our mailman. Yeah, scanner. That's what I meant. Computer scan. I just call it computer, but that's Leisure's got the right answer there. A scanner. So it will go higher. How much higher? Because I mean, like on a Chrysler product, they go to 3/4. Yeah, that's what Michelle says. Like most cars will run in the middle. At least the cars that I work on. I haven't worked on a Volvo for quite some time. Another thing, you want to be really careful, but you could go out there and see how much pressure is on the hose. If it's got just a tremendous amount of pressure, it could be a bad head gasket. I used to have a car, and it used to get them white cotton husks in it. And we'd have to clean that radiator out all the time or it would run too hot. I haven't gone to the red yet, inside 20 miles. Yeah, I mean, if it starts getting up like past 3/4 on the gauge, I would pull over. Your fan should be running just a little bit past halfway, or right at halfway. They should start kicking on. Be right, be right back. I'm going to call my son and ask him about the Volvo. Yeah, her kids do have some BMWs and Infinities, and they might know. I could go back to some more service information. Let's just see what we can find. Yeah, I guess that does kind of look like the rear of the engine, but that doesn't look like the other picture I was seeing. So the other picture must be the auxiliary water pump. Yeah, here's the one. Electric water pump. What year is that? Maybe that's newer. But this is the one I seen in the picture that's underneath the intake, and then the thermostat's right beside it. But then Napa shows for the water pump. Let's look up the water pump. How do I get rid of this picture? Napa shows this water pump, and that's the one that drives off the... Let's drive off the back of the engine like Nate said. Somebody text me. Okay, what was I going to look up? 2011. Running. Cops. While driving. Failing thermostat, clogged radiator, failed water pump, or low coolant. Stop driving immediately to prevent severe engine damage. Check coolant level and have the vehicle inspected to avoid warping or cracking the engine block. Yeah. There's a video. Oh boy. Oh, it's got to verify me again. I don't want this website. They're no good. I mean, everything is kind of saying a coolant leak. I know if it's not bled out correctly, it might not have enough coolant in it. Leaking head gasket. Coolant hose is leaking. Yeah, I guess I need to know, like, if you turn on the heater inside the car, does it blow hot heat? That's one thing we need to know. Yeah, it doesn't take a very big leak to get low enough on those cars that it'll overheat. And then they probably have to have a bleed procedure to get all the air out. Yeah. Weiser says that his info shows a belt-driven water pump. I show a belt-driven water or some kind of driven water pump. But I did some like Google searching and it shows there's electric one also. But so does the wiring diagram. There's a fuse for an auxiliary water pump for the heater system. So the auxiliary water pump is electric, and then the engine water pump must be a belt-driven manual. But I do know on cars like that if you got a leak, it's you got to get the coolant system back full, 100%. Uh, some cars are harder to get the air out than others. I have a vacuum bleeder here at the shop. Like if I get a car in and I have any questions on it, I put the vacuum filler on it. Yeah, I believe you got a so Jaden, do you got hot heat coming out of your heater? Turn it to heat. Is it hot? So Michelle's kid had a 2000 Volvo V70, and his was a thermostat. I know some Ford cars. Uh, maybe it's the Ego Boost. Have to be get the air out when you have a leak in your cooling system and you do a repair on it. It has to be vacuum filled. 7 volts hold the pump on. That's what it looked like. So if you got air in your cooling system, it will overheat and run hot. I remember back in the day, like I can't remember if it was the Ford Taurus, what car it was. Maybe it was a Grand Prix, but we would jack the front end up in the air a foot, as high as we could go to. And that would help bleed out the coolant system. But nowadays I just use the vacuum bleeder, and it just sucks it down to a vacuum, and then when you open the valve, it sucks the coolant right in. It looks like you got to pull that intake manifold off to change that thermostat. Let's go back to Napa and look at the look at that stuff again. So there's the water pump. This one only shows 6 volts. Is that just not a water pump? That's what Napa shows. All right, let's go to Parts Tech. Holy crap, they got a lot of cars. Where's Volvo? Oh boy. Here we go. I went right by it. What's this one? This one shows seven bolts. Why do they show two different ones then? So it looks like there's two different ones. The Leisure's found this one. I found this one. Drive style built. I don't know. Let's go back. Look at this one. What does this one say? Valves, 24 valve. Engine auxiliary water pump. Nothing. Well, my information shows two different water pumps for that. Two different mechanical ones. Nothing for any kind of electric. It all shows the same thermostat, no matter where you go. Interesting. JD, maybe JD knows something about it. We got a 2011 Volvo XC90 with a 3.2, and it's overheating. No, it's only $3.15, and Michelle said. My best advice for you is to have somebody that knows a little bit about cars come and check it out. Or take it to somebody that knows about cars. Hometown shop, a friend, ex-mechanic, somebody that knows something. There's a lot of people out there that know stuff about cars. Leisure says there's two different engines for the... Yeah, I know. I looked it up for the 3.2. Yeah, so it's pretty busy day today, JD. I did 2020 Ford Transit, the trailer light plug. I did a 2011 Toyota Sienna front stretch and oil change. 2015 Kia Sorento, I did the rear brakes. Both rear wheel bearings, they just fell right out. Kia's got a good design on them. And an oil change. I got a 2020 Ford Fusion with a 2018 motor in it, and something's wrong with the oxygen sensor. I ain't figured that one out yet. It kind of reads backwards, or the code. The code set criteria is backwards from when it happens. yeah, so got my parking lot all rearranged again. We did that on Sunday night. Me and Michelle washed the roof of the motorhome, the front part anyways, and put new wiper blades on the motorhome last night. JD says I'm working on a stupid transit van. Everything I touch is more issues than it's getting super annoying. Too quick to see. How you doing? It's going good. And he says I dropped by to show some light V and leave a like. Yeah, awesome. Show some love and leave like and leave a like. Yeah, awesome. Thanks. I caught you on one of yours the other day, but you didn't have your comments reading out, so I don't think you seen that I was there. Yeah, I think you were doing like they were having Canada Day or something. Yeah, I did it. That's interesting, JD. I did a transit van this morning. They were from Wisconsin, and they were pulling a trailer, and their lights weren't working, so they thought the trailer was bad. So they had some mobile mechanic come out there, and he charged them I think $700, and he didn't get the lights fixed. So he told him to come here, and I fixed it like in 10 minutes, and it was only $90. Hello from Germany, Samurai. Sam. I'll just call you Sam. I am Hernick. Well, that's awesome. How's the weather in Germany? What's it like over there? Heinrich. I did get some more building material for the reception room, although we didn't do nothing with it. So what do you guys think about that 2024 Dodge or Ram? It's a Ram. And the dealer told him that his wheel bearing was bad, and it wasn't his wheel bearing. And the wiring is shot on it already. 2024. It's got 41,000 miles. The wiring is bad already. I think that's pretty crazy. Also, pretty crazy that the dealer then wasn't able to fix it on the spot. Charged him $160 just for the diagnostic fee. We're me and Leisure, and we're kind of coming up with that it's a mechanical one. I'm not sure if it's on the front of the engine or the back, but I'm coming up with it has an auxiliary water pump for the heater. But I did kind of figure out that the thermostat is underneath the intake. And he does say that he has a coolant leak, so I'm very skeptical. I think he's low on coolant. That's a Chrysler product. The Ram with the bad wiring. Yeah, but my customer is very upset with the dealer, and this is the second time he's been here. He was here like maybe a year ago for I think it was a weed trimmer. Or no, it was a push mower. It was a push mower. I got his push mower going. Leisure says the pump should be in the front of the engine. So the one that Leisure says with 7 bolts looks like it goes on the front. The one that I found with 6 bolts, I don't know what that even is. So he's going to be coming here for everything. He was so impressed. He's like, how did you figure that out? And I'm like, well, the first thing I did is hooked up my scanner to it, and I seen that it was reading, I can't remember, 4,000 miles an hour on the wheel. So then I unplugged it, no change. So then I went and unplugged the one on the other side, and it went to the same reading. So I'm like, okay, it's starting to make sense. It's got an open wire. So I plugged in another wheel speed sensor that I had here because I have a lot of Chrysler wheel speed sensors with the same plug on it. So I plugged that one in and no change. So then I started pulling out wiring diagrams and I'm like, it's got to be there. So I unplugged the brake module, found the wire, measured it on both ends. It was pin number 9 that did not have continuity. So I started tracing the wire out from there, and then I finally found it. It took me, I don't know, a half an hour to find it. The wire only traveled like 3 feet. So I was able to find that, repair it, and put it all back together for just a little bit more than what they charged them for a diagnostic fee. No, 3.2, I think. 5.2. So Michelle ran across a Facebook post the other day, and she might be able to tell us a little more than me, but somebody moved to our town just recently, and then yesterday Michelle ran across this post. It was like only 7 hours old, that they were looking for someone, a mechanic or a shop, to take care of their vehicles. So the post had a bunch of comments on it, and 90% of the comments said to bring it here to me. So then I'm like, well, they probably don't know where my phone number. So I told Michelle to put the phone number on there. And then later on last night, I wrote them a nice comment, like, I'll be happy to take care of your vehicles. And then I gave them a couple links so they could check me out. But I don't know. I haven't heard from them. Maybe they're going to go to one of the other 10% shops that people told them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the wheel speed. I took a screenshot of it. It's on my X tool because I had to use my bypass cable to communicate to it. And this X tool likes to die on me. Somewhere I got to get to the screenshots. Okay, it was going 1,490 miles an hour. Wheel speed for the left front. And this was when I was inside here. So yeah, then when I unplugged the right front sensor, it went to 1,490 miles an hour. So I'm like, it's open. So then I eliminated the sensor part by being open by plugging in another sensor that I had here. I save them all out of old wheel bearings. So then I was tracking it down from there, and I just ohmed both sides of the wires, and then one was open. And this is my what is it called? My bypass cable, and this is my so this is the cable. So this, you unplug the gateway module, and then you plug this into the wires that go to the gateway module, and then plug your scanner into here, and it lets you bypass the gateway. I'm gonna look it up. It's like a 12+3 or something it's called. Holy crap, we buy a lot of stuff on Amazon, Michelle. +8. It's a 12+8 bypass cable. Yeah. Okay, that's what Nate said, JD, that it was on the transmission side of the engine. Leisure says you're going to need to add a tech. Scam is on. No, I get so much stuff. They won't let me cancel my Prime membership. Yeah, I just think since there's so many variables, Michelle, he should have somebody that knows what they're doing help him out. He should be able to have somebody help him out that would not charge him anything. There's a lot of older people out there that know a lot about cars. A lot of people, there's a lot of people out there that would be able to lead them the right way. If the car's low on coolant at all, that's more than likely the problem. And he says he has a leak. And my mouse just quit on me. I'm gonna take the battery out and put it back in. Tim T Pops. All right, now my mouse is back working. No, I get so much stuff on Amazon, and I was just watching a video the other day that the parts companies, all they're selling is Chinese stuff. There's no difference between some of the parts companies and Amazon, I tell you. And some of the Amazon stuff I got is actual OE parts, some of it. So I remember which ones to buy the OE parts. Yeah, and Spotted on Grand Meadow was super cool. So many people recommended us. Yeah, I'm gonna say there was 15 comments in there, and all but 3 of them were recommending to come to my shop. And it looks like there's an electric pump behind possibly on the V8 model. So I was getting an electric water pump right by the front of the transmission bell housing area in the picture I was looking at. Mechanics versus mechanics. And he says hi to Michelle. Some auto parts sold on Amazon are fakes. Yeah, but the little I know the IWE valve I get for my pickup had the Ford logo wiped off of it, because you could still see it was partially there. And the number had a Ford number on it. So that part, the Ford solenoid, the vacuum solenoid for the IWE, and they're the same on many pickups throughout the years. I buy them on Amazon, and I got stocked up on them. There's a few other things that I like to get on Amazon, but not electric rack and pinions. Nope. Oh, mechanic versus mechanic. He said hi to me first. Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed so many comments. Michelle's actually out in the motorhome. She's not actually helping me. I try to get her to come in here and help, but she won't. Oh, yep, I got it. Hi, Pete. Well, hi, mechanic versus mechanic. So where are you at? What part of the country? We try to have live feeds here where we get all these technicians on here in case somebody needs help. And we're just trying to help one guy. Had a Volvo. I don't know a lot about Volvos. Oh, you got two names. And then we got Tim T, PDPs. Oh, haha, you're too quick. What do you think about the bullshit Ford trying to stop independent mechanics from working on their cars and your everyday do-it-yourself mechanic? Yeah, I don't like that at all. I worked on a 2021 a Lincoln Aviator the other day, and the exhaust bolts on there are it had a cracked catalytic converter, and it's going to be under the emission warranty, but they got eTorx Plus nuts that hold the catalytic converter onto the exhaust manifold. So I don't have any of those sockets. I probably got to get some. But I had a picture of that socket here somewhere. Here's the catalytic converter. It's cracked right there. But yeah, I don't know. They're starting to limit parts, and my dealer, my Chrysler dealer, has disappeared from my repair link. I just made it this channel. Jim Farley needs to fill all those empty bays at the dealership. Yeah, I know they're struggling, and our dealers around here, they're in trouble because they're losing customers left and right. They're upselling, overcharging, and not doing correct diagnostics. It's really bad. I just had a 2024 Ram come in straight from the dealer. They wanted to charge him almost $800 to put the wheel bearing in after they charged him $160 diagnostic fee to tell him that was the wheel bearing. That really wasn't wrong. 2024 Ram with 41,000 miles on it. The wiring was shot already. Yeah, I did a little short video on it. Michelle says he definitely is when it comes to fixing things, but he gets it done and gets it right. Mechanic says, I was in a stream yesterday and someone said it would be awesome to see mechanics versus mechanics do challenges. Yeah. Too quick. Yeah, I got to remember that you got two. Doesn't matter what they need for a socket when the torch gets involved. Yeah. That one is going in for the emission warranty, though. They're going to warranty the catalytic converter, but they're not going to put the worm gear clamp onto the flex pipe to keep it from vibrating so it don't break again. They said they're not going to do that. So I told my customer I didn't think the worm clamp idea was a good idea, but we'll come up with something. So bring it back to me once they get the catalytic converter replaced, and then I'll fix it so it don't rattle no more. I just thought they would take care of the guy and fix everything, but I guess not. Tim T, yeah, it sucks. Independent mechanics are the best and giving people good deals on work, unlike the dealerships. Yeah, well, our Subaru dealer quoted $7,000 to fix the guy's Subaru, and then they quoted two things that it didn't even need. Same with our GM dealer, did the same thing. Yeah, I think the true independent shops do the best work. At least here at my shop, I don't got all the time in the world, but I take my time and try to do the best job and make sure I get down to the root of the problem. But the guy with the 2020 Fusion, he needed that car tonight, so I told him I need more time. So he came and got it, and he's going to reschedule some more time so I can figure out the oxygen sensors. And it's kind of a mess because they put an engine in there out of a 2018. But I checked it all over, and I don't see anything that wouldn't work. So JD says, we use worm clamps to secure loose heat shields. Yeah, I do too. It's a great quick fix. When they come in for an oil change, I'll put a clamp on there, charge them $1 for, I got a bunch of used clamps. I'll charge them $1 for a used clamp, and everybody's happy because the rattle is gone. And then the ones that are bolted up to the bottom of the floor pan, they always come loose too, but it depends what your car it is how I fix those. Most of them I can put a big fender washer on and get by with it. And if it's an older car, I just run a self-tapping screw right through their floor. If it's an older one. I would never do that on a newer car. No, I know too quick to see. Yeah, I got it. Just if I'm going to remember. Mechanic versus mechanic. Yeah, he wants to have some. He wants to do exactly what I'm doing. I got to catch up on. He has live feeds almost every night, maybe twice a day, right? Too bad you didn't have a metal fabricator to make most of the parts. Not sure if that could even be a thing. Yeah, we got a fabricator in town. I used to be a fabricator. Yeah, I'm gonna rig up my own exhaust hangers.
Mechanic versus mechanic is too quick.
Yeah, I know that. I knew that like 10 minutes ago.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Well, am I late or what?
Yes, I don't know where you're getting these comments. You're seeing comments that I don't even see, and I got them all on.
You have them on such all?
You want to come and say hi? Michelle says she doesn't want to come in.
Fix the water pump in the motorhome.
I haven't even got out of the shop yet today.
I know.
You tried it? It's not working?
Well, the toilet, but that doesn't take much.
Subarus are the worst for heat shields. Yeah, I get a lot of older Fords. Tim T, damn mechanics. She burned you, saying you're too quick, gonna learn to control it. Yeah, she come out here because she didn't think I knew who mechanic versus mechanic was, and I didn't right away, but then I seen that she said that it's too quick. 2C. And he's from Canada. Mechanic versus Mechanica. Mechanic versus Mechanic is in Canada too, also. Tim T, I don't know where you're from. Yeah, she's a little camera shy. She don't like to come out here. I can put her on there on quick for you, so you can see what she looks like. I'll put her favorite picture on here. So I'm gonna make this one bigger because she's in here. She hates it when I put this picture up. So you're gonna start it. Too quick to see, you're starting another channel. Yep, I'm gonna have to put that down in my book so I don't forget. I got a little book going on here. And notes. Too quick to see is also and that's pretty good name, Mechanic versus Mechanic. Yeah, don't all women wear the pants? You want to see the other one? Yeah, you can see more of Michelle in this other picture. Oh, why she don't like that one? I'll make it just a little smaller. You get a little more context. So she's in the race car. Oh, so it's a brand new channel, yeah. Me and Michelle have two channels: Pete, Michelle, Daisy, and then Pete's custom car shop. But it's a lot of work just to keep videos up on my channel, and work 14-hour days. So I showed Elijah. I told Michelle your boat acronym, and she thought that was pretty cool. Sounds like somebody's messing around out there. I gotta just take a look. dropped off a GMC for tomorrow. Okay, let me look and see what's on the schedule for tomorrow. Somebody dropped off a GMC. Yep, that's for an oil change. I'm going to do that first thing in the morning because I got a service call tomorrow. Yeah, it's a ton of work doing one channel. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm privileged. The first people to know about his new channel. So everybody on here, he's got a new channel coming out. Too Quick to See. Likes to do a tech or tech videos for the auto industry. Gotta go for now, but I'll see you soon. Yeah, I'll catch up some of your videos. Maybe I'll catch your new channel. It's Michelle warming up the attitude adjuster. No, I got the attitude adjuster in here. No, Michelle, you are not, because it's right over here. I'm looking right at it. So yeah, we got some flooding. Did I have this for last Thursday? What day was the flooding on, Michelle? I'm absolutely asking for an ass whooping. No, because the paddle is in here. I can see it. I hung it on the wall. She knew Pete had good hands being a mechanic. She's like, bro can be a bad boy in the broom. Boom boom room. Boom boom room. Yeah, I was hoping to have my new Katul hoist cable. I was expecting it actually in the next day or two, but I just got an email from them today saying that they still don't know which cable I need. I think I'll have to have Michelle call them. They need our serial plate, but when I first opened shop, I had the kids come in and wash the hoist every week, and they washed the serial number off the tag. But I gave them the model and everything, and it's the second longest cable that's bad. Michelle said she had to restart the live on her end. F-150 in the parade. We had Auto Value of Austin and Napa of Spring Valley and AutoZone of Austin sponsor us water and candy for the parade. Yeah, the water's all receded now, and everybody I know didn't get hit too hard. But I'm thinking originally they said 10 to 11 inches, but we only got, I think, 7 to 8 inches is the final. And Leisure must have been watching the weather map because he knew that before I did. Here's the Hyundai oil filter that we cut apart, all the metal in there. There's another picture here somewhere. Yeah, this one. That's a lot of bearing material, and that's definitely rod bearings. It's copper in it. Tim T, where are you from? I still don't think, if you told me, I'll have to look back. Yeah, the root beer for tonight is this Spritzers. Spreacher. I bought a case of this stuff for like $1, right around $1 a bottle with the tax. And it's not, there's more in here because it's a 16-ounce bottle, but it's not the best root beer I've ever had. Panning for gold. Yeah, but we're panning for copper. Virginia. Okay, I'm going to write that down so I remember. So what do you do in Virginia? You're pretty close to Leisure. What else do we got to look at here? Yep, so I've had to do a lot of oil changes during the week, the last couple of weeks, which I don't normally do. We normally do them just on Saturdays. So tomorrow I actually got an oil change, and actually it looks pretty new. It's a 2023, where is it? 2023 GMC Arcadia. Yeah, it doesn't have much fizz in it, but it's kosher and made with pure honey, it says. Well, it's honey, made with honey, 100% or natural honey antioxidant, whatever that is. Oh yeah, I got some news for Busch Light. We got a new can. Look at that. Farm Rescue. Got some red and white stripes and this side, look at this side. Yeah, we got the stars and the stripes and the tractor. I work in rehab for stroke victims and ortho-related injuries at Mary Free Bed. Well, that's cool. You help people. That's what we try to do too, but you're probably more important than I am. You're saving lives. I'm just helping people get to where they got to go. Well, stroke patients probably sounds better. Yeah. I collect. Let me put it up. I collect Busch Light cans for some reason. Right there's my collection, and that's right inside Michelle's area. That's going to be my new reception room pretty soon. Red, white, and blue. Yep. But this can is not in this picture yet, or not in there yet. Got a bunch of different cans there. Picked up a couple new coasters too. They ain't in this picture yet. Federal did a 250th ammo box. Yeah, that's cool. I haven't picked up any ammo for quite a while. I haven't even shot any rounds off in quite a few years. Michelle says we got to go out to the gun range. That's awesome, Tim. My youngest son had 4 strokes when he was 14. Spent a lot of time at Cook's Children's Hospital in Fort Worth, Texas. No, man, we are all important, bro. You do a lot to keep people on the road, my friend. Yeah, I try to do the best I can. And I had a very good Facebook post about me the other day, so we'll see how that turns out. He's 19 now and doing very well. He has Factor 5 Leiden. Thanks, Michelle. Wow, Michelle, that's young. Yes, he was running track when it happened. And he collapsed, right, Michelle? I got bad posture. I got to sit back up straight. I got the air conditioning on. It's been in the upper 80s or mid 80s to upper 80s. And it gets pretty humid here in the shop, so I turn the air on since I have it. Tim says, that's awful. No one should have to deal with strokes, especially that young. Oh, you're 100% right. That's unfair. But I'm going to tell you, that kid, I think he's doing really good now. as far as stroke side. And he's got a good job, I think, now too, right, Michelle? So he's starting to get his life straightened out. I don't think he has any issues as far as strokes. And when he was down here at Mayo, didn't they say that was like a miracle how his health, his stroke health, has healed and recovered? It was terrifying. He's out on his own now. He works at the airport and fuels airplanes. Yeah, he's just got a new job. And me and Michelle both stressed to him that he's going to be, that's a very important job and he needs to do it correctly. And it sounds like he's doing good. Factor V Leiden is a blood clot disorder. Yeah, yeah, that'd be a cool job. I think he gets a little bored with it, but from some of what I get anyways when I hear him on the phone. But he needs to stick with it. It's a high paying job, high responsibility, and he'll work his way up. Bet he gets a good deal on plane tickets. Yeah, he does get some. He gets deals like that and like hotel deals. Yes, his brain had a vessel that was damaged, but because he was so young, the vessel rerouted and made a new one. It's going to be a long-term job too. Yeah, well, you got to start somewhere. Yep, he gets deals on hotels too. He could become an A&P. Sweet, good for him to keep going. Yeah, I think this is a job that he's taken onto that he kind of likes. So, because he did go through some jobs. So I was just wondering, JD, do you use one of those 12+8 cables, or do you use the Auto Authority? Yeah, I don't know what AP is, what Liger's talking about there. Leisure. Yeah, it's going to take me a while on that one. Airframe and power plant. Hope he keeps healthy and moves up with the chain with that job. Yeah, me too. Michelle's very proud of him. It changes him a lot, but he's still a very good kid. He doesn't smoke, drink, or do drugs. Just that alone makes me proud. Yeah, you used the Auto Authority one. We have Snap-on, Zeus. Yeah, at my old shop, or the shop I used to work at, they had a Zeus. It was so slow, and it's very. It was hard for me to navigate, but it did have the scope and some built-in features there that I liked. But yeah, I'm not. I just don't want to pay whatever they charge for that when I can just unplug the gateway module and plug this in. I think over the next few years they're going to be changing all that stuff, anyways. He's got a girlfriend and a puppy now too. Yup. He's getting lots of responsibilities. I smoke and drink, yeah, so do I. I gotta quit smoking though. That's too expensive. Grandbabies, yeah, okay, and a grand puppy. Oh, you guys want to see? You want to see our dog Daisy? I'll find a picture. Yeah, Michelle got me some new pictures for Daisy too. I didn't get those up here. Yeah, there she is. This picture is this year. She's outside here. Cane Corso. Daisy's just over 3 years old. Yeah, yeah. It's. I guess it's not too much. It's just another cost. And then is that per scanner, or does that work on all your scanners? Like if you had 2 or 3 scanners, I can't remember. Tim has a pit bull terrier. So we took Daisy with us on the 4th of July to watch the fireworks and in the Ranger, the Polaris Ranger. And we made an area back there for her to be at. Well, anyways, that area is still there and the Ranger's parked in the shop. So the dog, Daisy, goes up in there. And then if she's up in there, she's so calm throughout the day. So she lays in the back of the Ranger now. Yeah, I'll show you guys here in a second. Yep, Daisy, everything has to evolve around Daisy. Yep. Michelle taught her all kinds of hand signals, how to sit, lay down, stay. And then Michelle had to go dog sitting and she left me with Daisy. And I taught her how to roll over with a hand signal and verbal. No, we did turn first. First we learned how to turn. That took a few days. And she could do it by hand signals now without saying anything. And now we have, I don't know, it was shortly after I taught her how to roll or turn that I taught her how to roll over. And that took just a little bit longer, but she can roll over. If you just twirl your finger, she'll roll right over. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that, JD, and I think you're right. You just have to have one account, and then you can put that on all your scan tools. I mean, it's probably I don't even know if it's faster to do that. Probably is, because I think it's kind of built into your scanner. Your scanner just automatically goes into your account when you hook up to one of those newer ones. So it's probably a little bit faster, a little bit less intrusive, like you don't have to unplug the gateway module. So far, all the gateway modules that I've dealt with, they're right in the open. The last Jeep Renegade I worked on, the gateway module failed, so I just put the 12+8 cable in there, and then I bought a new one because his radio didn't work, and a whole bunch of stuff didn't work in there because the gateway wasn't working. The CAN bus went down on it. Yeah, Michelle's half deaf, and she just got back from her appointment not too long ago, and they fine-tuned her device, but I'm a little bit disappointed they didn't give her the Bluetooth device so she could listen to the TV. They forgot about it, is what I understand. Is that right, Michelle? Daisy looks far more cheerful than Katrina. Less LMAO, I know what that means, but Dom like pinball, you some bitch, I'm a pit bull. Here she is at the shop. This is last year on my toolbox. Here she is on my lap. This was last year too in the motorhome. She thinks she's a lap dog, and she's a little bit bigger now in this picture, but she still comes up and sits on my lap. But I got a whole bunch more pictures, but I didn't get time to put them onto the stream tonight, so I'll have to do that for Thursday because they're really good pictures. Yeah, I know what LMAO stands for. I could say it, I guess, laughing my ass off, yeah. Oh, here's Daisy. This is a recent picture. This is her by, oh, she's snoozing by our sponsor signs. We hung these sponsor signs up in the shop for a whole week and a half, 2 weeks before the parade. And she's taking a little snooze. Lisa, I actually witnessed Katrina laughing. I wrote it down on the calendar so she don't laugh very often. Dom takes up most of the bed, and I'd be like, bro, move over, dude. And he looks at me like, make me go ahead and make my day. Yeah, that's Daisy. And then once Daisy gets to sleeping on the bed, you can't wake her up or move her. You used to be able to like put your feet underneath her, and she used to growl and then jump up, but she don't even do that anymore. But yeah, let me show you. Let me show you. All right, got back on me. Let's unplug this phone so I can walk over here. But Daisy's bed now. We put her right here in the back of the Ranger, and she can't go very far. And then she just lays right here during work hours, and she doesn't bark or beg for customers anymore. She just sits up here, and then she's more at eye level, so I think that's what really helped. She's at eye level with everybody, and she doesn't bark or beg for attention anymore when the customers come in. So yeah, ain't got no cars in here right now because I got all caught up. Besides I had a Jeep get towed here, and I think it's the fuel pump. So I'll try to work that in tomorrow. And then I got a Toyota Camry out there that's got a list. Yeah, let me see. Where's the list at, Michelle? So she's on vacation, and it's convenient for her, but not for me because my schedule is full. But she says, I'll just drop it off for the whole week, but it needs oil change and filter, tranny, fluid flush, check radiator and power steering fluid. Been good since the last time I fixed it. Noise in right rear wheel, so we know what that probably is. Check all fluids. Air conditioning Freon, question mark. I mean, like, is the air conditioning working or is it not? Or does she just want me to do a evac and recharge? So I got to do all that stuff. Probably the wheel bearing and the transmission fluid flush are the two biggest things on there. So I got to work that one in the next couple days. I think Michelle said that she's coming back on Thursday. And if I ain't looked at her car, she probably is not going to be happy. But she was supposed to bring it a couple weeks ago, I think. Perhaps Katrina could be chained to the back of a pickup. Well, I don't know. That might be cruelty. Y'all got to go out one day and Daisy be gone driving the Ranger. Yeah, she just loves for me to give her a ride. She'll sit in the seat when I give her a ride. I hold on to her leash so she can't jump out or fall out. And we'll go for a ride around town once in a while. She loves to ride in the Ranger. She loves to ride in any vehicle. And then we have to bring her with us wherever we go. So if we go out to have a meal, she'll be sitting in the driver's seat and people are like, is your dog driving the car? She probably would if she could, yeah. She's going to whoop that ass. Daisy has her own TikTok. It's at Sonali. That is a weird name for a TikTok for a dog. Yeah, I have a TikTok, but I don't do it anymore. That's Cook 6. Cool. What else can we look at? Same way rides and walks. People always take a picture of Daisy, and then I tell them she has TikTok so they can always subscribe. Yeah, I think she's got a lot of subscribers. Michelle has a lot of videos on TikTok with her dog. I'm just looking through some pictures, see if I can find anything. Yep, I got the 3500, all the brake calipers, all the brake pads. I just pad slapped it. Those rotors are, the back ones would be a nightmare. And then the back calipers, I had to completely load the calipers with the bracket on them because the spring is in the way for the bolts. Or the caliper bolt anyways. The bracket bolt, you can get in there on the top one. So I just completely loaded them and greased them all up, loaded them, and slid them on, and it was no big deal at all. And the back lug nuts came loose pretty good, and actually the one on the driver's side was loose. The wheel was coming loose. It ain't now because I cleaned all the mating surfaces and lubed all the lug nuts and torqued them to the proper torque, which was 140 foot-pounds, it said. But the front ones, man, I could not get those loose at all. I think on the passenger side front one, all but one lug nut came loose with my impact. And I had to get a great big breaker bar with a 3-foot pipe on it and break them loose. But I got them all. Some of the studs are starting to rust on the inside. And then we use a surface shield. After I clean all the rust and the corrosion off, we use a surface shield on them. That seems to work pretty good because I get a lot of cars that come back for tire rotations, and the surface shield, I don't have to clean it off anymore. Mostly, if there's a little dirt on there, I'll have to clean that off, and then I'll just spray another spray of surface shield on them, which is like fluid film. And it works really good for keeping the wheel mating surfaces clean. And so far, the only thing I bought from O'Reilly's is just brake calipers. I cut them off pretty good. The rep is due to come in tomorrow, but I might not be here. I've got a service call. I got to go to Olmsted County. Their magnet quit again. And then they called some other service guy there, and he called me because he didn't have no idea what was going on. So I told him how to check a couple things, and from what he's checking and the answers he's giving me, like something is wrong with the generator. So I'll call before I go up there tomorrow and see if they still need me. If they need me, I'm going to swing up there and see what's going on and fix it or bring it back. And then I'll be back here. I'm going to do the oil change first. First thing in the morning, I got oil change on a 2023 GMC Arcadia. So hopefully Michelle ordered whatever we need for that. I should look it up. Do we got a license plate number for that Arcadia? Yeah, Daisy could come in here. We can put her on the camera. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm just going to key in a 2023 GMC Arcadia and see what kind of oil and filter that take. Actually, I'm going to go get the license plate number because it's right outside. So I'm going to be right back. I need a piece of paper. Well, here she comes. Better get Daisy on here. She's got her leash. She loves to play with her leash. Hey, Michelle, will you write down the number on the license plate number on that Arcadia?
Arcadia?
Yeah, it's sitting right outside there. Give me that leash. Give me it. Hey, you want to come up here and sit in your spot? Get up there. Yeah, I think she likes it up here because she's more eye level with everybody. Is that why you like to be up here? You just want to play, don't you? She's staying right there. All right, Michelle got me the license plate number. So let me key that in. So on all my my software or all the parts places, you just need the license plate number and it brings up all the information for the vehicle. So just like that, it takes 0W20, 5.28 quarts, and it takes a weird oil filter. Oh, PF66. I should have a PF66. Let's go look. I don't know what that correlates to a Napa filter, but as of yet, but I'll look it up. PF66. Yep, I got one down there. She's way down there. So we got a PF66. Well, let me see which one that is on the Napa. And Daisy's just laying down right by my chair. And this has a 2.0 liter dual overhead cam turbocharged. Is that the engine they put in the pickups? The Napa number is a 2100 351. I do not have that filter. Napa does not even have that filter. They have 3 gold filters. That's it. Now let me go to Parts Tech. I will be putting AC Delco filter on that. There's no sense to look anymore. I'm going to go back to you guys. OSC 5W30. Yeah, it calls for 020, but being it's a newer vehicle, I'm going to put the 020 in it, but we probably should be changing that over to 530. Just trying to catch up on the comments here for 1 second. JD says, I hear that O'Reilly's may be buying Napa. Yeah, I don't know. My Napa store has just been kind of quiet over the last couple of years. They've been sold a couple times. 6 quarts. Did you look this up? OSC. Can I pet that dog? Yeah, Blue Jay, you could pet the dog if you were here. No, the pickup has a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder turbo. Damn, got me. Oh, how many channels do you have? Did you hook up with F? No, and I'm going to because I'm kicking O'Reilly's out. It's just the way it is. And I don't care to talk to the rep tomorrow, so hopefully he comes here when I'm not here. Of course, Michelle might be here. But I'll let Michelle deal with him. So he came in last Wednesday, and I didn't really talk to him too much. He handed me a tool flyer and a parts flyer, and that was about it. No, I'm a master. No, I'm a GM Master Tech. I really got to get the factory motor parts. I got to see it. It wouldn't matter. The only way it would matter to me is if they make deliveries. Like, I don't know if I would buy stuff from them if they didn't make deliveries or if they couldn't get on Parts Tech. I gotta have them on Parts Tech or Repair Link. A Repair Link is for the dealers, and Parts Tech is for the aftermarket suppliers. The V6 3.6 liter takes 530, and the 2.0 is 020. Yep. 530. I'm gonna be switching some of the newer. Or I got a guy that has a 2019 Chevy. I've done every oil change on it now, and it's getting close to 100,000. And we always put 020 in it. But I'm going to be switching that one to a 530 pretty soon. Lisa says, I build engines weekly. I think he's referring to the 020 oil. Well, OSC, who? No, I'm a GM Master Tech. Well, that's cool, because this is what we want to do here every Tuesday and Thursday, is bring a bunch of technicians on here and car people so we can help people out. Where are you from? So ever since I started wrenching, I just never wanted to. I never really called myself a technician, but nowadays they call them technicians. So I still don't like the word technician, and I mean it's what it is nowadays. But I don't really like to call myself a technician. I'm switching the Corolla to 530. Yeah, I've already switched one car from 020 to 520. JD says he was a GM Master Tech back in the day. Austin, Texas. OSC is from Austin, Texas. That's cool. How's the weather? How's the weather in Texas? Yeah, I had a 2024 Ram come in the other day, 41,000 miles on it, and it was at the dealer. They wanted almost $800 to do a wheel bearing, and they misdiagnosed it, and it was the wiring was shot. It's hot. It's hot in Texas. Yeah, it's mid 80s here, and I got the air conditioning on, and we're in southeast Minnesota, and I got the doors closed with the air conditioning on. It's humid outside. Hasn't rained in weeks. Yeah, earlier this last week we got some rain and it flooded. Show these pictures. Leisure is in Connecticut. It's 63 there. Peekaboo, who is JD, he's in Nova Scotia, Canada. How's the weather in Canada, JD? Going on for months. You're in a drought. Michelle used to live outside of Clovis, New Mexico. Yeah, we're getting too much rain. These pictures are from when we got the 7 to 8 inches. Oh yeah, I got a 2018 Traverse that came in today. I just got to get I think I'm getting another root beer. But it's got 62,000 miles on it, and the transmission is starting to act up. Torque converter issues. Good now. It was super muggy over the weekend. It's 80 outside, 83 in the motorhome. Haven't put the AC on in a few days. Love the fresh air. 62 degrees in Nova Scotia right now. I do have a fan in the window, and it's not too bad. No, at nights it cools off not too bad. Here in Minnesota. When I was younger, I never had air conditioning. And then when I got a little bit older, I just had a window AC, and I'd only turn it on if it got up to 86 degrees. Here's the Hyundai that JD we got warranty. They got it at the dealer right now. They're gonna put a new engine in it under warranty. Thanks to JD letting me know about that. I can't remember what year it was. Was it 2016 or 2018? Oscar. Okay. I'm just gonna have to remember that. Probably take me a while, a few weeks to remember that OSC is Oscar. Yeah, it's nice to have a. Let me put. So here's the Traverse transmission fluid. Today, 2018, Chevy Traverse 3.6 liter with the 9-speed in it, and he's got some torque converter shifted issues. And here's just a little sample I drained out of that bottom plug. And I told him, because they're known for reverse to go out of them too, I told him I just didn't want the liability. If he wants to put a torque converter in it, and I told him, well, I think the problems could extend beyond the torque converter. And he's wondering, well, should we do the fluid flush with the HP fluid and put some lube guard in it? And I said, I don't think that's going to fix it. Yeah, well, it's not like mud, but it is kind of dark. There is some clutch material in that fluid. I don't know why they gotta why do they gotta PWM the torque converter? Why can't it just be on and off like it used to be? They had a lot less trouble back then. Actually, without the lockup clutch, this when they had the best luck. But it's I know it's the EPA and for fuel mileage, but they don't need the pulse width to manage it. They just don't. So yeah, I'm just gonna stay clear of that transmission job. He can take it to a transmission shop. I'm not even sure I want to put in a new transmission on that one from GM. I just don't know. He needs Transmedic. Is that an additive, Leisure? I use the lube guard stuff. (2021) Lincoln Aviator, 51,000 miles, had a broken catalytic converter. It's going under the emission warranty. It's at Ford right now. But the problem is the engine harmonics are bad, and they don't have the right kind of hangers on the Y pipe here, and it shakes really bad. Made by Motor Medic. Does it work for a torque converter shutter? And just go ahead and replace the transmission and flush the cooler lines, otherwise it's gonna be a complete rebuild. Yeah, that's what I did on the 2021 Silverado that had the torque converter issues, and then we got a rebuilt or reman transmission, and It was good when it left here, but now it's got a little torque converter shutter, so I'm still waiting to see what they want to do on the warranty on that. The whole system gets contaminated. Yep. Yeah, I got a transmission flushing machine, and I do a lot of transmission services. I don't like to mess with them when they got the torque converter issues going on, though. Yep. So we looked it up. It should have had its first fluid change at 45. It's every 45,000 on there, and it never had any. I wasn't the one doing the service work on it, though. It was going to the dealer, and he has the records on it, and never get. He bought it. Why wouldn't have they done the transmission service? Why don't they keep up on service? If you buy a car from the dealer, why don't they make you keep up on service, especially if you're bringing it there for oil changes? No, well, back in the day when they had just the lockup converter that came on, they would shudder a little bit when they first came on, especially if it was cold. And the lube guard really worked for that. But now in the days where they slip that converter, I haven't had anything that helps. Yep, I did mine at 38K. So yeah, it's important to do it on time. And then I think GM did recommend, like, if you got, I mean, Oscar will know this, but GM recommended if you did do the flushes, you got the mobile HP fluid on some of them, the 8 speeds and stuff like that, maybe the 10 speeds. Really, at best. Yeah, so JD's commenting on whether the what do you call that stuff? The snake oil. I call it snake oil. And the snake oil guy that I got that comes here is I don't know. I shouldn't say this, but the BG stuff to me is snake oil. Not all of it, but some of it. I guess I do like the BG Enforce. Works pretty good for a penetrating lubricant, penetrating oil. The best penetrating oil I got, though, we'll have to go over here, and maybe Oscar can get me some of this stuff. Let's go look at it. Actually, I'm gonna bring the can over here. I'm gonna go get this penetrating oil, and I need some more of this stuff. But the Enforce is just like this stuff, but the GM stuff is better. So let me go get it. So I ordered some of this from my GM dealer because they said they had it for $5.95 a can. But I'm waiting and waiting. I wait like 2 weeks and it ain't showed up. So I go back and look at my order, and they canceled my order. But this stuff dissolves rust. So Oscar, if you know where I can get some of this, let me know. Yeah, I wish I had time. I could have gotten some more pictures on here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had the state patrol office call me today about the Dodge Charger Pursuit that I put the radiator in. They said they said they're having a little bit of trouble. Like, why did they pay me? Well, they paid me because I did the work, but they said I got to belong to this special group. Let me look it up. She said I need to register to this special group to be paid by the state of Minnesota. It's called SWIFT, Statewide Integrated Financial Tools. She said, if we're going to continue to do business, I have to register with Swift. And I told her, I said, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'll have to let her know. But I probably will because they're going to send me more vehicles. So yeah, I had to talk to. Yeah, I think Michelle, we got it. We got to stop in Rochester and check out that Factory Motor Parts and see if they deliver. See if we can get them set up on Parts Tech and hold the can up higher so I can screenshot that part number. Like that. It's back. Is that backwards? Here, let me flip the camera. So I think now if I do it, there you go. So now if you screenshot it, that'll work. I'm serious. JD, have you ever used this stuff? This stuff really works. I'm putting it back the other way. There we go. I don't know. I just use the selfie camera so I can see myself. At the end of a torch tip, yeah, the best penetrating. Swift is a tool for Tim Waltz to swiftly empty your bank account. I think Alicia knows what he's talking about. But this lady called me from the state patrol and she's like, "Are you the one that fixed so and so's car?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, you were supposed to be registered with Swift so I can get this payment through our system." I'm like, "Well, he already paid me on a credit card." "Yeah, but he's supposed to make sure that you're a Swift certified vendor." So I'm like, I don't even know what Swift is, lady. Yeah, I just like working on cruisers and police vehicles. I mean, I don't want to do any ambulance or fire trucks or anything, but squad cars, I like working on them. I feel I should be working on them because I make sure that they're roadworthy and they can go above 100 miles an hour or however fast they want to go and be safe. I feel if some kid was working on it, they might not be safe. Yeah, well, they told me that they're going to tell him not to come here anymore if I don't get registered with Swift. Yeah, leer about it, Swift. Yeah, no, I got it. That's funny, JD. Yeah, there's some stuff going on in our state that just is not kosher. Yeah, yeah. I just know that if we don't get if Amy Klobuchar gets in there, I don't know. I don't like to talk politics on my stuff, but we need change in Minnesota, and it's not going to come unless we get somebody in there. Those vehicles are technically owned by. Yeah, I was going to mention that to that lady. Like I'm a registered business with the state of Minnesota, and that I'm a taxpayer, and those are my cars, and they need to share the repairs with every shop. And just because I'm not registered on Swift, that's their problem. I verified that with the guy that was paying the bill with the credit card. I mean, the deputy that, is there any other paperwork? And he says, no, I get to decide. I'm like, do you need me to send you a quote for the radiator? Yeah, that would be nice. I'll get it pre-approved. And maybe he pre-approved it, but as what I'm finding out now, he must have approved it. He didn't have to send it in. I like to purposely pull over and act like I'm speed trapping, but just looking at my scan tool data, yeah, it's the first one of the times I was working at a different shop, and this was a sheriff's car. And I was changing the oil, but we do a 5-minute drive with the vehicle before we change the oil to warm it up, to check the wipers, to check for wheel bearing noise, tire shake, anything like that, any weird noises. So we'd do a shakedown, and one of the things was to hit the horn and test the horn. So I'm out in the sheriff's car on Highway 16, coming back, and so I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure the horn works. So I hit the horn, and all the flashing lights went on and the sirens. I'm like, oh my God. So I try hitting the horn again, and it did not shut it off. So cars are pulling over. I'm going down the road with my flashing lights on and the sirens. So I pull in the back way to the shop and stop in front of and behind another guy's shop, and I bail out of the thing. And when I opened the door, all the sirens and lights went off. But anyways, I told the deputy sheriff that what happened, and he couldn't stop laughing. The previous governor was moron Malley. I don't ever trust people who call and ask for information that I haven't dealt with previously. Yeah, but she was able to verify who she was. I mean, good enough for me to accept that that's who she was. And my phone did register it as spam, but she called. I swiped it off, like denied the phone call, because that's what I do if it says potential spam. But then they called right back, and it looked like a local number, so I answered it. And because she was, maybe that's what annoyed her, because she was kind of annoyed with me. Michelle set you up. No. No, because she sent papers to my email, and that's how I know what we got to do. Yeah. I've never been scammed. I never got caught in any scams. So I'm just having a root beer. Benny says he's got some root beer he's going to bring us. Yeah, I'll show you the car. It's this one right here. This is the car we're talking about. And then I happened to mention that the last person that worked down at the dealer put a used radiator in there. And she's like, well, I don't know anything about that. I have to give her a call and give her a little bit of Katrina. Yeah, Michelle's making fun of you, Leisure. We aren't allowed to drive the RCMP vehicles, since the mass shooting by the guy that dressed up like a cop and had a replica RMC car. Well, that's terrible. That's awful. So now are your officers good enough to know if their cars are in good shape or not, as far as wheel bearings and clunks, and if you're not allowed to drive it and make sure everything is good on it? What if you're doing a repair? You should be allowed to test drive that vehicle to verify your repair. Yeah, that's crap. Royal Crown Mounted Police. Is that what that means? Something. Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Oof. Pete only drives the police vehicles for diagnostic, and if they need to be returned to the station. Yep. And so we got a new chief, and I told him he brought it in for the motor. They brought one of the squads in for the engine mount. Okay, so I'm just getting this engine mount done, and the chief is sitting outside. I'm like, this is a good opportunity for me to get a ride back. So I told him, I said, I'm going out for a test drive out to the park. I'm going to turn around, and I said, if I pass you, you need to follow me and come pick me up. If I turn in here, don't worry about it. So I went out to the park. Everything felt good. So I passed him, and he whipped the other squad around and followed me back to the station and gave me a ride back here. But he's like, well, what's going on here? You're going to drive the car? And I'm like, of course I'm driving the car. No, we never joyride. We just got caught going to lunch in one the other day. But we were doing a test drive, the clutch master cylinder on this Aveo. And her car is good. Michelle just talked to this gal. So the Aveo, the clutch master cylinder had bad fluid and had air in it. Or the slave. There's the master. Chevy Aveo. Ecotec. That's I think a 1.6 liter Ecotec. Manual transmission. And she just had gotten that stuff repaired, and it's been sitting a while since she got it here. But after she got it repaired, she only made it to her house, and it was sitting there broke down. Said the car won't move. Can't get it in gear. So me and Michelle brought it over here, and I got it so it worked. And then we took it on a couple test drives, even over to lunch a couple times. And she caught us over at the gas station with the car. I said, we're test driving your car, getting some lunch. She said, oh, cool. I didn't know it moved. I'm like, yeah, we're going to have it fixed here in the next day or so. So she's been driving it ever since and says it's good now. So we make sure your vehicle's good. I keep them until I know for sure that verify that the repair is good. Yeah, we tattled on ourselves because she was standing right in front of us and we were driving her car and we had it at the gas station. Now the gas station is only a block and a half away, by the way. Yeah, what if the brakes are bad or the rotors are warped? I think that's a safety thing for you, JD, and for your community, that you, a technician, needs to be driving the car to verify this car is safe to be on the road. Out of sight, tail light guarantee. No, I have to stand behind my repairs. Even if they bring their own parts, I still legally have to stand behind my repairs. Okay, so they drive it, you go with them. That takes the fun out of it. The other shop, yeah. Oh yeah, the Veil. Yeah, she went. So we got their car. I got her car fixed, and she went back there and to that other shop, and they didn't do nothing for her. They're like, that's what we did. Yeah, but they didn't do it right. Plus the fluid was so cloudy, so full of moisture. I'm just wondering if that brake fluid full of moisture caused the air to be in the system. I bet you it did. I don't know a lot about stuff, but I know like having nice clean brake fluid, because the slave cylinder or the master cylinder gets its supply of brake fluid from the master cylinder for the brakes. I did not flush out the brake lines or the calipers, but I got clean brake fluid into the master cylinder, then fed it through the slave, both master cylinders, and then fed it through the slave. And I got a special way I bleed those. It's hard for me to explain it. I just gravity bled it, let the clutch at the top. I didn't push the clutch down. And then I had Michelle pump it up a couple times and then let it sit a minute and then open the bleeder. Yeah, she's very happy, and her car does need quite a bit of other stuff, but I made her aware of it to the best of my ability. The shop is on a dead end and street, so we drive Royal Canadian Mounted Police to the end of the road and back. We aren't supposed to, yeah. Well, at least you get to drive in a police cruiser once in a while. I gave Michelle a ride in them. We took a ride in the. I took her along. Didn't give her a ride. I took her along on my test drive in the state patrol car, and whenever I test drive the Tahoe, I take her along in that. And I talked to the new chief, and he's thinking these Tahoes are too expensive for maintenance and the gas mileage and stuff. So he's thinking that our city should get a car or a smaller SUV. I actually like I don't know if they still make they don't make Ford Tauruses anymore, but that Ford Taurus all-wheel drive, I think them were some good cars. Yeah, we're on the main highway edge of town and turn around and come back. Most of my test drives will consist of 2 miles out and 2 miles back, unless I'm doing something for the drive cycle. If I'm doing a drive cycle test drive, that takes a while. There are SUVs now. We have a set place we go on every test drive out. Just tell them you're on a mission from God. Yeah, I told Michelle that the other day, and she didn't believe me. GM VVT solenoid for 3.6 liter right out of Japan. I don't know if that's normal. I thought it was mostly Mexico. When I started at my current shop, we still had Crown Victorias. Yep. So when I was working on, we had Crown Victorias here, and our town city car went through 5 engines in 1 year because of the overheating problems they had. And then if they were on a hot day, it's mandatory for them to pop the hood to the first catch when they had to stop. So I don't know if you guys had some of the same rules for those cars, that they had to pop the hood when they came to a stop or were parked for a while. Paint a smiley face on your nail. Our police around here are really good people, and they know us and trust us, and that makes us happy that we can make them happy and keep the police department cars safe and reliable. Yeah, I don't like it when they... Oh boy. All right, we lost internet for just a second there. Hopefully it'll be back on. Yeah, it's back on now. But yeah, maybe they should get rolling before they punch it. And maybe they shouldn't punch it all the way unless it's an emergency. Yeah, it cut out for a second. It probably switched cell phone towers or something. I have no idea. I got to pay the bill soon. I'll have to log in and see what it's due. Well, I got to get to bed. See you guys Thursday. Yeah, nice seeing you, JD. Have a good rest of the week. Glad you were here. Yeah, you helped us out a little bit tonight, trying to help that guy. Put a picture of Katrina on your nail. All right, let me put it back. Put it back on the phone. There we go. Same here. Oh yeah, nice to have you, Oscar. GM Master Technician. You work at the dealer then, or you work at a garage? Or are you independent, mobile? Just one more question, then you can go. Peace, man. Peace. Thanks for coming, Oscar. Yo, night, Oscar. Oh, dealership. Oh, cool. Yeah, maybe you can come back to some more of my live feeds. We're just here to try to help people get their cars going. If they have any questions or anything, and it's nice to have you guys. You guys know more than I do. Although I took a bunch of GM AC Delco classes and made Michelle take a couple of them too. Hummer EV and Sierra EVs. Yeah, I haven't got any of those in yet. We just got a couple Priuses that we work on, and maybe a big Hyundai it's a hybrid. I worked on a Chevy Volt one time. I think I put brakes in it. That's the most I've done. I know on the Toyota Prius, if you unhook the airbag sensor in the passenger door, it goes into a default mode, which you can pick up about 5 more miles to the gallon. I can get 55. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. Hope you come again. I'll try to get more pictures and stuff. I just lag behind so much. We are open 8 to 8 though, so right when I start this live feed tonight is when we are closing. And then the gal was dropping off her car, and I went out there and looked at her, but she put the keys in the drop box already. So I'll pull that thing first thing in the morning. I'll pull that in, get the oil change, put it back outside. Michelle can handle her when I'm gone on my service call tomorrow. And usually it takes me 2 to 3 hours start to finish on a service call like that one. Yeah, we did. Yeah, they wanted oil changed on they just got it, I think. Yeah, that's when we first started. I don't know whatever happened to them people. But they gave us the license plate number, and it didn't need an oil change. May have needed something else, but not an oil change. It's probably pretty new. So yeah, I'm just running out of stuff right now. Hopefully, yeah, Michelle, you're probably gonna have to call the Catul people tomorrow. So get my oil change done on my service call. Maybe tomorrow. Well, then I'll have to work on the Toyota Camry with the list. Maybe I'll have to stop at Toyota and get some WS fluid. I see I got a case back there, but I need more. So I'll look that up. I'll look that up before I go. So I might have to stop at Toyota. Yep. So I got a full day tomorrow, no matter what I do. It's after 10:30 p. Are we stopping now? Jimmy Fallon, your favorite shows? I don't watch Jimmy Fallon. I actually said we should have a live feed when Jimmy Fallon's on because I got a lot of commentary going on when Jimmy Fallon's on there. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock for Star Trek Enterprise. Pretty soon I'll come in for that one. Yeah, so last Thursday's live feed was the longest one we've ever had. But yeah, I need to update my pictures, get some better ones on here. Yeah, I suppose it's about that time to sign off, and my internet's going in and out for some reason. Sign off, call it. So, yeah, I think so. I'm gonna call it. Everybody kind of just was like, we're running out of stuff. But the Caden show. Hey, how's it going? Did you come on to one of my live feeds before? I didn't. I don't think I wrote it down. We're just getting ready to call it a night. Let me see if I can figure this out. Hey, Caden show, you want to see my lawnmower? I can't even find my lawnmower. Lawnmower. I got to make the picture a little bit smaller. Leisha's back. Were you taking a little nap or? No, I'm just kidding. My internet's kind of cutting in and out again. I don't know what the crap is going on. And then Michelle took her internet box back today, and she's got to wait 3 days. They're gonna order her a new one. They don't have a new one, so we don't even have that one. Of course, it hasn't been working for almost a month. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet, but it's kind of going in and out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Like if I wasn't current on my payment, it would just not work. But this is the first time I've ever had it go in and out. which is really weird. Yep, I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to sign off and call it for tonight. Looks like my internet's going in and out, so must be about time to sign off and say goodnight, and wish you guys all a great rest of the week. And if I don't see you on or we don't talk on Thursday,